swing. I'm here to bring a smile when I do my thing.
Welcome, this is the BRONXTALES Podcast. This is podcast number 7. And I appreciate everybody listening to the special edition we had in Memorial Day.
What was our numbers on that one?
I don't know, 100, 150. It wasn't that many, but it went out last night, like 6 o'clock last night.
Oh, what was the one before that?
Oh, the one before that was great. It was podcast 5. It was the one we did here. What was last week? We did
It was over 1,000.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we did really good with that one. Yeah,
That's great.
It was 987.
This is number 7?
This is the 7th podcast.
Well, look, I'm on Lucky 7. Frank Louis Pisani. Thank you, Dean, and my
We
brother
are
from
so-
another mother, Louis
Why don't you
Venari.
introduce him? Introduce him.
This is Frank Pisani's here with me, my music director that's starting on this venture since I've signed with Mason Reese and Richard Radis. I needed a musical director to take care of all my original stuff. Which
Which comes with my first question. How did Louis Venari and Frank Pisani come together?
Oh, well, we didn't come together because of this. We've been working together for a while now.
For a year, maybe 7, 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
We met. I think we met through our mutual friend, I'm also musical director
Yeah.
for Vinny Pastore at one of his events.
Yeah, Big Pussy.
Big Pussy.
The Sopranos.
So
That's when we met. And
Vinny,
I'll tell you what we were doing. We were shooting a short, me and Vinny. And Vinny was doing a show. And I think the first time we actually played together was at the Hard Rock Cafe in the city.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a benefit event for something that we did.
Right.
A lot of different acts.
A lot of
And I
different
was keyboard player for
all
some
of
acts.
them.
For all of them, basically.
Mostly all of them.
Yeah. And that's how we met. I remember,
Yeah.
I was on their show, Big Pussy. Yeah, they had a radio show.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, on Sirius.
He's done it
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
Yeah. But, all right, so...
A wise guy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, with Cha-Cha
Yeah,
was on that, yeah.
He wasn't allowed to talk later, right?
No, they had to shut him up because he got too out of control. It's kind of funny because my friend, I've been friends with Vinny for my whole life, and having him tell someone else to shut up,
Yeah, I know.
was pretty funny. By the way, for those of you listening, tomorrow night I'll be with Vinny at the Cutting Room with the
Awesome.
Gangster Squad band.
Oh, that's good news.
all
Tomorrow
right,
night,
so check this out.
in New York City. And,
Where is it exactly?
It's a great band. It's Al Orlo from Benny King's band and Motown. Is on
Awesome.
guitar. Eddie Denise from Dion's band is playing and singing bass. I'm running the band playing keys and singing, and we have Charlie Powers from...
Oh, you got Charlie down there.
Jackie
That's at
Brown
the Cutting
and everyone
Room. Look it up because I don't know the exact
Ticketmaster?
address. but-
44 32nd Street.
Oh, there you go.
And choir director at St. John's Episcopal Church in New
Yeah,
Rochelle.
in New Rochelle, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I've always been... I mean, this is what I do for a living. I just make music all day long, and hopefully people pay me for it. And so it's a life of being a professional musician. I found the only way to do it successfully is to be very versatile. So spiritual music, whether it be Christian or otherwise, has always been a big part of my life. Whether as a church musical director or as a writing spiritual music, I've written songs in that genre and I've had CDs out in that genre. But I've been with St. John's for about a year and a half, and it's actually the oldest functioning church in New Rochelle. It's a very tiny
cool.
church.
Cool, good church.
Was founded in 1859. If you fit 100 people in there, it's crowded.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful garden. It's just a beautiful historic
It's got
place.
a grand right there
Yeah.
on the altar, which is nice.
There's a
That's the
baby-
one we work
Yeah,
with,
there's
right?
a baby grand on the altar,
Yeah.
and there's a really nice organ. So I'm music director and choir director up there. I'm there every Sunday, 10:30, leading the music for the services, and I have a very small, because it's a small congregation, but very enthusiastic choir.
That's
and
awesome.
we have a concert coming up on June 7th at Wilmot during the day, a big picnic and
Awesome.
stuff.
We
That's
also
pretty
we
nice.
also
June
use
7th.
we also use the church. Me and Frank to go.
We
over.
rehearse.
Okay, and
God is happy when we're there because
Yeah.
we're making music.
I'm going to have all the dates to all these shows on our Bronx Tale page. We have a Bronx Tale Twitter page now.
Oh, tell them when you're at the
So,
Bayou then too.
Oh,
Write
this
that down.
Yeah.
this Friday, I'm with my quartet playing songs from my EP, the Frank Louis Pisani EP.
Which we're going to get into, and
Yeah,
I'm going to actually play a
yeah.
couple songs off
Right.
that CD.
Right.
But I want to talk to you.
That's this Friday, the 29th, at the Bayou in Mount Vernon, 10:30 show.
So you can put it on the thing.
29th at the Bayou.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll listen to it and I'll get all the information.
Yeah.
All the information for all these shows will be on the Bronx Tales page, which will be posted on my Facebook, Lewis's Facebook. I'm going to put a link on Frank's. But Frank, I wanted to ask you a question
Sure.
because I was reading the little sheet you gave me, and
Prescott?
yeah, I was in my car listening to your music, and I'm a rock and roll guy. So the first song is "Every Life," and it starts off with this huge guitar solo,
Yeah.
which I love. Now, I see that you had any of your influences. Give me some of your rock and roll influences.
Rock and
Was it
roll
Pink
influences?
Floyd, something like, because I hear that big sound in the beginning reminded me of that.
My biggest influences coming up were really jazz and gospel and soul and blues and that whole grassroots thing, you know. Listen to a lot of great jazz players, Oscar Peterson, Art Tatum, going into the New Orleans. Big fan of New Orleans guys like Dr. John and
very technical, I can see.
and Louis Armstrong. I mean, those are my roots. But having grown up in the 60s and been a teenager, you know, in high school in the 70s, 71, 72, 73, you know, there was a lot, obviously, with birth of rock and roll. So, you know, Cream. Cream, was the first one that really has even though it wasn't a keyboard in that,
right?
You know, because it was it was like
there's no keyboard in Cream, right?
Big fan.
Blind Faith there was,
big fan of Stevie Winwood, and also a huge fan of the band Santana because of all the different influences of the Latin music and everything else. So, the first song, Every Life, starts out with a big major 7 chords. And then goes into a 12/8 minor chord.
Yes, to the jazz, right?
Loved
it. I really enjoyed that. I enjoed that song a lot.
The name of the CD, by the way,
is
Every Life, and it's on iTunes, and it's Frank Pisani, Pisani.
It's actually Frank Louis Pisani.
Oh, is that
and you can get it at
it comes right up.
Amazon.com.
I should be able to remember that.
Yeah, right. That's why I remember your name.
There are many
part of my name.
But there are many places that you can get this CD.
Yeah.
You can get it at cdbaby.com, which is a great site for independent artists. You can get it at Google+. You can get it on Facebook, iTunes, and it's great. It's awesome. I love it.
Most people have been getting it from iTunes.
So, how's life treating you, buddy?
Good. I got married recently.
Oh, congratulations!
I'm going to be 60 next month, and I'm married to a beautiful young woman.
I wasn't going to say. I wasn't going to say your age on this.
I wanted to talk a little bit about that.
So I'm a lucky man.
We are into the health, a little bit of the health. Like I'm getting into health and kale shakes and all that shit.
It's a good thing.
And when I went and seen Louis and Frank play last Thursday, and it was my day to let loose. I was drinking, but I noticed how good Frank looked. And when he told me he was 60, I was like almost. I was so impressed. I was just like, wow, I really want to get to know this guy because it looks like you said before, you have to have it all together in every aspect. And it's so true when you're working out or when you feel so much better about what you're doing and everything. So give me your routine.
Yeah.
What do you do when you wake up? Give me your day.
Well, I right now. It was different because I lived in Mount Vernon for 25 years and basically an office and an apartment. Now that I'm living where I live now with my wife in Connecticut, the building has a gym downstairs, really nice gym.
That's awesome.
And my background in athletics is I was a world-class rower from the age of 15 to almost 30. So I had a really good run at that level, the Olympic level. You know, represented the United States 7 times, rowed for the New York Athletic Club. You know, extremely hard competition. But so anyway, that's part of my life. It's part of who I am. You know what I'm saying? So now, whether it's 2 times a week, 3 times a week, if I have time every day, I do at least between 10 and 20 minutes of cardio on the rowing machine because that's what I love to do. Even though I'm not out in the water floating around with the seagulls. Right.
But that is the best workout.
Rowing,
everything else.
And I'm not because I've done it my whole life, but rowing is truly one of the only total body, non-percussive workouts. You're not shocking your joints like running. Not that there's anything wrong with running, but you're using in the rowing motion your back and legs to really your major muscles. You know, so you're burning a lot of calories because you're using just those major muscles over and over and over and over again. And then I try to do some light lifting and some abdominal work and. You know, and being a musician, I've always found I've been lucky for 35 plus years. This is what I do, and I don't take it for granted. You know, I mean, I work my brains out, but you know, I
want to mention something about Frank too. We both have a mutual friend, Vincent Pastore, who we mentioned, Big Pussy, and Vinny had an audition for. He's had some success recently on Broadway.
Yeah,
and you were and Frank was his vocal coach because he sang for how long did he do the show for?
Well, I'm part of what I do is I'm a voice coach and piano.
I know, and
so Vinny reached out. Like I said, I've known him since I was basically forever.
But Vinny always mentions you when he got the part.
Tight, you know, when I was growing up, his father, and my father were good friends.
Okay.
So he called me up a few years back, maybe 06,
and
said, "Look, I really need some help. I have an audition for Chicago."
Oh, who's the Chicago?
Yeah, for the role, the jilted husband role. His big song was what was that song?
Forgot
Cinderella
the name of the
Man?
song. I was thinking it was
Wait,
Bullets
I'll
Over.
look it
I didn't
up
know he
right
called
now.
you for. I didn't know he called you for Chicago.
No, anyway, he had this for Chicago.
It's what was his character's name?
I'm drawing a blank on the name of his character.
I'll look it up.
Yeah.
But anyway, he had a song in it.
Anyway,
Go.
he asked me to get him in shape because he's always been musical.
Mm-hmm.
He has a nice baritone, but he's mainly an actor. But he can sing a tune, and he does sing well when he wants to do it. So long story short, he got the role. We worked for like 2 months together. He got through the audition process. Spent 6 months in Chicago, which I think is one of the longest running shows in New York.
That's awesome.
And then recently, he got a call from Woody Allen's people to audition for Bullets Over Broadway.
And he came to you again.
And we worked again, and he spent the whole 6-month run.
On
I saw him in both
Broadway.
shows, and I'm going to tell you, I know he's one of my best friends and oldest friends, but I'm so proud of him. And I keep telling him, you're in a very small group. You're in a group that you're recognized for movie roles,
And he has-
TV roles, and you sang
and he had solos.
on
He had
Broadway.
solos.
And solos, not just part of the choir.
Yeah.
So, he's always, oh yeah.
Too.
Well, back in the day,
Wait, what was the name of his bar?
Crazy
Crazy
Horse,
Horse.
Newer show.
In Nurshell, and he had some people went.
I've heard of that.
Well,
Yeah.
well, a lot
Donald
Like
Plain
the Allman
played
Brothers
there.
play there and
Well,
stuff.
I played there. I played there with different bands over the years. I think it had a 5, 6, 7, 8 year run.
Did you
I
ever
forget.
play with any of the Allman Brothers or anything? Only because they're like one of my favorite bands.
No, I've met
Greg or
Greg,
Dwayne? Oh, Greg.
once.
Okay.
Because we were on the same bill. I was playing with another band, but no, I don't know them.
God.
But yeah, a lot of people came through Crazy Horse.
And you know what? Another one of my favorite people growing up, which I seen you play with, was Huey Lewis.
Yeah, I opened up for him, and I subbed.
So
Actually,
cool.
his keyboard player got sick one night. I was working with a band called T-Bone, and
T-Bone.
yeah, I was with trombone player singer, not the T-Bone Walker, not the bass player.
Okay.
Another guy. But anyway, yeah. And you do this for as long as I have at the level, thank God, that I've been able to do it. You it's like when I do a resume or do something like that, it's like you forget. Like, I almost forgot that I worked with Martha Reeves until I looked in my book. I went, oh, right, that was Martha Reeves.
You almost got a really...
And last week, just last
Which
week,
is a blessing. It's a good thing.
just last week, me and Frank opened for Lou Christie.
Temptations.
No, Lou Christie.
The Shirelles.
Lightning and the Shirelles
Right.
and the Angels and there was another. Well, it's not the Shirelles anymore.
Right,
It's,
right.
It's
Shirley.
Shirley Alston.
And Scoops, what's going on with you, buddy? I haven't even talked
Well,
to you.
I wanted to say that June 15th
Yes.
is our show. I'm doing originals. Frank is my musical director, and that's June 15th at Tallulah's in the city, next to Richard Radis and Mason Reese. And I'm excited about this. This is the first time I'm actually doing all
Originals.
I mean, we might stick one or two covers.
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
We-
you're
we-
gonna
we
open
decide-
up
we
with,
just haven't
I'm Here?
decided what ones yet.
I'm here to entertain. You're going to open up with that?
Yeah, I think we're going
So anyway, what really
pissed
pissed me off was
What?
last week I came to see you guys play, and
What?
I left early to get home early,
Uh-huh.
which it took me like 2 hours to find my car in the garage.
No, come on.
So I probably left.
In White
after,
Plains?
I probably left after you guys, actually.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What's even worse than that is Nicholas sends me
My
the video
brother.
of my favorite song I missed, "Highlight of My Life."
Oh, we did it that
Yeah,
night. Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
saw. He goes, "Oh, look what you missed, asshole."
Yeah.
So he sends me the video of it. I'm like, God, thanks a lot. Not only am I looking in the,
We did highlight.
I'm walking around the garage looking for my car, watching "Highlight
Well,
of My Life."
what's cool is me and Frank we get paid rehearsals because we work so much during the week, and now what we're doing is we're implementing a lot more original songs in our show. Like we did the Doral last week on Saturday. We worked this Friday. I mean, like we work at least 3 or 4 times a week, which a lot of
Great.
bands
Don't.
A lot of
Well,
bands,
one of the
musicians don't get that chance.
Most don't.
But
Most musicians do not.
one of the beautiful things about working with Lewis, if I might say so, besides the fact that I love him to death, I'm his biggest fan, and I'm coming from the point of been involved with actors, been involved with singers. I'm a composer myself. I'm an arranger, and his skill set and also Lewis plays the piano. His skill set is so, and it's high. He's a great songwriter. So me being a songwriter, I appreciate what he's doing, and I can actually put a third ear or another set of ears in there and say,
Right.
you know what, in terms of arrangement.
But
So-
I'm limited on piano.
well, it's just about it being
So,
an arranger, but
just-
the thing about it is that it's really exciting. And I'm so grateful for the fact that he's got this opportunity to go out there where we can do his music, because the more you do it,